We may have already solved the mystery of the downtown Disney parking lot. Jungle Cruise held a gender reveal party? Not really. Jazz Kitchen gets more new paint. And the Red Car Trolley returns. Sort of. All coming up next on Fresh Baked. Hi guys, David here with Fresh Baked, and I've got some updates for you on construction projects going on around the Disneyland Resort. Last week we left you with the mysterious mystery of the downtown Disney parking lot. This week we may have already solved that mystery. As we thought, it's just new trees. It's not related to Disneyland Forward or anything else. You may remember a while back when we were reporting that those trees were being removed from the Pirates of the Caribbean queue? It was explained to me then that Disney was in the process of removing trees that dropped seeds on the ground or otherwise made a mess. Which is weird, actually, because everyone has been telling me how many leaves the newly planted magnolia trees will drop, but I digress. I'm hearing something similar for the downtown Disney lot. The trees were making a mess on guest vehicles, but I'm sure they also wanted to fix some of those concrete issues as well. But that's pretty much it. They're just trying to make it for a cleaner environment in the downtown Disney parking lot. I've also been advised that the entire project is going to take about 2 weeks, and that the lot will be open sometime in early August. So unless they can build Disneyland Forward in those 2 weeks, we're just getting new trees. Now, we got some new details this week. Last week, I was trying to figure out what these areas here were around where the new tree planters used to be. I learned since then that that's where the concrete cutters, they had already gone in and cut out the areas that would eventually be dug out. Which takes us to here. The planters and blacktop have been cut out and a trench run down the middle in the dirt of this section, presumably for water or conduit, I'm sure. Since I got this footage, I also got some new photos sent to me that shows the beginnings of new planters being installed. Otherwise, I think that's about the extent of things here in the downtown Disney parking lot. Let's go next, briefly, to the Jungle Cruise, where I joked in the intro that there was some kind of gender reveal party. The jungle rivers were pink. It's humorous. I posted this on Twitter, and I got quite a response, actually. Some funny, like the gender reveal stuff, but some were legit wondering why this happened, or if it was something that Disney was doing intentionally to the water. But it was not intentional. This I'm positive of. Disney would never do anything like this in the middle of the day while the park was open, while the ride was functioning. They would never do this intentionally in the middle of the day. That's just really, really bad show. It turns out that it was just a basic sewage leak. But I didn't hear any formal reports as to how long it was like this or how long any affected attractions were closed. But it's my understanding that it takes a few hours at least to drain and refill the water here. Actually, when you think about it, it seems like it would take a lot longer than that. It seems like that was the case for Small World. They had to, drain that and then refill the water later. But then that closure was actually more to do with replacing the hardware than it was the actual water. But still, I feel like it's probably easy to drain the water, but it's got to take a while to refill it. That's a big river. Unless they're able to section off areas and just drain specific small sections, as if to say, the issue wasn't throughout the entire waterway. I don't know. The waterways, actually, now that we're talking about those, they are still connected. You may or may not know about the dark water system at Disney, but all those waterways are connected, which would explain some of the other closures. Davy Crockett Canoes, for example, had to be shut down because of the close contact guests have with the water there. Same, I'm sure, for Pirates, which actually, now that I think about it, if this issue was affecting things all the way at the Davy Crockett Canoes, very likely they would have had to drain the entire Jungle Cruise River. I digress once more. But everything is open today, so all's well that ends well. Not a big deal in the big picture. Meanwhile, in the who saw that coming department, with a little bit of fanfare, Disney reopened the Red Car Trolley on Buena Vista Street in California Adventure last Sunday. And then a few hours later, it closed for the rest of the day. I was there on Sunday. I was very excited for my first chance. I made a point of going over to DCA for my first ride, and I was immediately told, nope, it's shut down. It won't be back for the rest of the day. It came back online Monday, but then I heard it closed again for a while on Tuesday. No idea what the issue was, but I have to agree with those that might say Disney had all the time in the world to make sure the red car was ready for show, and it wasn't. It took all of a few hours to go down for the day. Surely they were testing the vehicle, right? After hours. Now, I've said before that it's got to be impossibly difficult to keep a theme park up and running all day, every day. There's a lot of moving parts. It's very difficult. So I'm definitely the first to give Disney the benefit of the doubt. But it does seem like that attractions breaking down is becoming increasingly more and more of an issue years into the reopening of the park. I kind of feel like I need to look into some historical data to see if there's a way to say statistically whether or not there are significantly more breakdowns today than there were a couple of years ago. Maybe it's just that I'm more aware of things than I used to be, but it sure seems that way to me. It does sure feel like attractions are breaking down with more frequency today than they were just a couple of years ago. But having said that, though I haven't been able to ride the Red Car Trolley, or I haven't seen it in operation, I haven't even seen it in operation, I am definitely glad to know or to have it back. It makes the entire Buena Vista Street and Hollywoodland experience so much better. It's a huge part of the immersive experience, and I'm really looking forward to taking my first ride soon. Also, looking forward to my first ride on Finding Nemo coming up this Monday, the 25th. Stay tuned to Fresh Bake for my total freakout session on that day, because I will be freaking out. I know it's inexplicable, but that's just how I feel about things right now. I'm more excited for the reopening of Finding Nemo, than I was even for the return of Pirates. I'm going to make a day of it. Subs, monorail, maybe Autopia, maybe get some fish sticks over the Golden Horseshoe. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm excited for Finding Nemo. But let's go back to downtown Disney for a minute, where we have an update on Ralph Brennans Jazz Kitchen. Just as expected, the gray trim that we saw last week has been followed up with new white paint. They did the two sides of the building, back there on the alleyway over there on the side, and then the other side as you approach it from the far end of downtown Disney. But they have not yet done the center section. I'm sure that will be happening very soon. And nothing noticeable also in the interior atrium as of yet either. We're going to keep an eye on that. By the way, we'll also be keeping an eye on Tortilla Joe's right across the street. That's been rumored to be on the chopping block, considering the changes that we know. Disney's already announced the changes that are coming to Uva Bar. That is, that it's being converted to something of an upscale Mexican cuisine. And if that is the case, do they then have plans for Tortilla Joe's? Do you need two Mexican restaurants literally right next to each other? So that's going to be an interesting situation that's going to develop before our eyes here very soon. Meanwhile, for those lamenting the changes coming to the Jazz Kitchen, which I can't disagree with. I think the new look does not appeal to me at all. I don't like it. But it should be noted, I observed this the other day, that the Jazz Kitchen, in terms of the new downtown Disney, and I'm not just talking about the new, the one that's coming up, but also the recently new, as it exists today, it kind of sticks out. Jazz Kitchen is a bit of a sore thumb in the rest of the downtown Disney district. Everything new that they've done recently, we're talking about Splitsville, Black Tap, and Ballast Point, that's more in line with what downtown Disney will become. But the new Jazz Kitchen, it looks wrong. Even if they're trying to make it more like the rest of downtown Disney, I kind of get why they're doing this, but still, I don't like the way it looks. It doesn't. They could have done better. They could have done better, is what I'm saying. All right, we're going to end with an update on the nighttime shows at Disneyland. You may have heard already that Disney has confirmed that both Disneyland Forever and the Main Street Electrical Parade will end their current runs as of September 1st. Forever, that's easy to explain. It's going to be replaced by the Halloween season fireworks show, and then we'll probably see Forever come back, or some other fireworks show come back in the new year. But I'm wondering what plans, if any, Disney might have for the electrical parade slot. There is no Halloween parade at Disneyland. It's only at DCA, and it's only as part of Oogie Boogie. So are they just going to go without a parade? Which naturally leads to the question, will they bring back Paint the Night or Magic Happens? Now, Paint the Night seems like a hard no to me. That show was closed pre-COVID, and I see no reason why they would bring it back. And it just doesn't make sense for them to bring it back now. I mean, besides the fact that it's probably the best parade that they've ever done, the best nighttime show that they've ever done, better than fireworks, better than Fantasmic. Paint the Night is the best show ever, and I miss it a lot. Having said that, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but what about Magic Happens? Now, my prediction, I've said a few times in the past, my prediction was that they were going to bring it back in the spring of 2023, maybe even as soon as something like February. But there's no reason why they couldn't bring it back this fall, at least not in terms of it conflicting with any other show. I mean, I suppose one could argue that it wouldn't make sense to bring back Magic Happens for what, a couple of months, September and, well, not even that. September and October. And then as soon as the Halloween is over, they would take it down again for the Christmas Fantasy Parade, which is why I thought they might keep the Electrical Parade through the Halloween season. But then, I don't know, maybe they thought it didn't work thematically. Main Street Electrical Parade does kind of feel like a spring and summer show as opposed to a fall show. So that's what I'm thinking. Magic Happens is still on the table. I don't think it's off the table, but I don't think we're going to see it until sometime in early 2023. We're just going to have to go without a parade at Disneyland until Christmas. And that's our update for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBakedDisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakedDisney. And if you like our show and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBaked. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to another. I love Paint the Night more than anything else. And Fresh Baked.
huge quantities of extremely colorful lights.
Look sharp, everybody!
The number of crystallic fusion cells it takes to power this event must be immense.